What if I told you that the smallest thing you do today could change someone's entire life, and you might never even know it? Today, we're uncovering the hidden ripple effects of kindness that are quietly shaping the world. Kindness is one of the few things in life that costs nothing. Yet its value is immeasurable. And here's the wild part. The most powerful acts aren't usually the big, loud, heroic moments. They're the small ones, the simple ones. The ones we barely think about while doing them, but those are the ones that often hit the deepest, last the longest, and echo the furthest. So today, we're counting down the top ways small acts of kindness spark massive, world-shifting change. And by the end of this video, you'll see that the tiniest gestures, something you might consider insignificant, can actually ripple outward in ways you'd never expect. Let's dive in. #15. A simple compliment that rewrites someone's inner dialogue. Compliments seem tiny. A few words, a few seconds, something we toss out casually, almost without thinking. But to the right person, on the right day, a compliment is a lifeline. Here's why. People rarely see themselves the way others do. Most of us walk through life with inner criticism playing on a loop. I'm not good enough. I'm failing. No one notices what I do. But when someone receives a genuine compliment about their work, their energy, their kindness, even their presence, it interrupts that loop. It breaks the pattern. It replaces a negative thought with a positive anchor. And anchors stick. A single compliment can shift how a person sees themselves. In a conversation later that day, in a meeting later that week, in a decision later that month, you never know when a small compliment becomes the moment someone realizes, wait, maybe I am doing something right. Massive change begins with that spark. 14. Holding the door that makes someone feel seen. It's simple. It's quiet. It doesn't appear life-changing on the surface. But being acknowledged, being seen, it changes how people move through their day. We're living in a world where people feel invisible more than ever. Everyone's busy. Everyone's distracted. And the feeling of being overlooked chips away at a person's optimism. So, when someone holds a door, looks you in the eye, and gives a quick smile, it creates a moment, a very human moment. It reminds people, you exist, you matter. You're not just another stranger passing by. You never know how that micro-connection affects someone. Maybe it shifts their mood. Maybe it softens their attitude. Maybe it becomes the first positive thing that's happened to them in days. That tiny moment, it ripples, because people who feel seen tend to treat others with more warmth. And that warmth spreads further than you'd ever imagine. #13. Saying thank you with genuine appreciation. Gratitude is a superpower disguised as good manners. Most people hear thank you dozens of times a week, but very rarely do they feel thanked. There's a difference. A rushed, automatic thanks doesn't change anything. But when you stop for an extra second, make eye contact, and really mean it, it hits entirely differently. Suddenly, the barista isn't just doing their job. The coworker isn't just helping because they have to. The driver isn't just getting you from A to B. A genuine thank you affirms their effort. And people who feel appreciated tend to carry that positivity into their next interaction. Kindness spreads when people feel valued. And here's the bigger picture. Gratitude is emotionally contagious. One sincere thank you often leads to another and another. Tiny. Yes, powerful. Absolutely. 12. Checking in on someone you haven't heard from. A simple, hey, just thinking about you. How are you doing? That message can mean everything. We've all had days where we disappear a bit. Life gets loud, overwhelming, heavy, confusing. People slip into silence not because they don't care, but because they're fighting something internally. In those moments, the smallest check-in can be a turning point. It tells someone, you're not forgotten. You're not alone. You matter to someone. That tiny message might pull someone out of a spiral. It might help them feel supported. It might open a conversation they desperately needed. Sometimes the greatest acts of kindness happen in private, in quiet, in the digital spaces no one else sees. And the ripple effect, when someone feels cared for, they often pass that same care forward. Support inspires support. Empathy inspires empathy. The chain reaction starts with one simple text. 11. Giving someone the benefit of the doubt. This is one of the most underrated forms of kindness, and one of the most transformative, because let's be honest, it is so easy to assume the worst. Someone's rude. They must be selfish. Someone's short with you. They must be disrespectful. Someone's taking a while. They must be lazy. But when you pause, take a breath, and assume there might be more going on beneath the surface, something incredible happens. You stop the negativity right where it would have spread. You choose patience instead of frustration. Calm instead of judgment, compassion instead of reaction. And that tiny shift inside you creates a different outcome for everyone involved. Giving people the benefit of the doubt doesn't just make them feel better, it makes you kinder, calmer, and more grounded. It turns moments of potential conflict into moments of unexpected understanding. And the ripple effect. Huge. One act of grace can change someone's entire day and inspire them to treat the next person with that same grace. Hash 10. Offering help before someone has to ask. Most people struggle to ask for help. Even when they're overwhelmed, even when they're drowning, even when they're silently hoping someone will notice. There's pride involved. Fear of being a burden. Fear of looking weak. Fear of hearing no. So when you step in with a small offer, hey, need a hand with that? I've got some free time. Want help? Let me grab that for you. It creates relief. Before stress even builds, proactive kindness is powerful because it lifts both weight and worry. It tells someone, you don't have to struggle alone. I'm paying attention. I care enough to step forward without being asked. And that's huge. Because people rarely forget the moments when someone noticed their struggle without them having to speak it out loud. Small, yes, silent, usually, but deeply felt. These tiny offers create trust, and trust creates connection, and connection creates stronger, more compassionate communities. The ripple effect begins with noticing. Number 9. Sharing knowledge. Without showing off. There's something rare and incredibly kind about teaching someone something without ego. You know the moments when someone helps you understand something, not to prove how smart they are, not to make you feel small, but simply because they want to help. That kind of knowledge sharing is a gift. And here's why it matters more than people think. Information changes outcomes. It reduces frustration. It shortcuts confusion. It opens doors. But the most meaningful impact comes from the way knowledge is shared. A person who explains something patiently, gently, respectfully, gives the receiver not just information, but confidence. They walk away thinking, I can do this. And people who feel capable tend to help others feel capable too. Competence spreads. Encouragement spreads. Generosity spreads. Knowledge passed down with kindness moves through communities like a lantern passed from hand to hand, lighting the path as it goes. Number 8. Giving someone your full attention, not your partial attention. Not the I'm listening but also scrolling kind. Not the distracted nods, but your full, present, undivided attention. This is one of the rarest acts of kindness in a world where everyone is in 100 places at once. There's something powerful about looking someone in the eye, leaning in slightly, and making them feel for just a few seconds like they are the only person in the world. Most people don't realize how deprived we are of real presence. People talk all the time, but being heard is something entirely different. And here's the magic. When someone feels truly listened to, their stress levels drop, their nervous system calms, their self-esteem rises, their trust deepens. All from a moment of full attention. You're not fixing their problems. You're not offering solutions. You're not giving advice. You're giving the one thing everyone longs for but rarely receives: human connection. Small, yes, but it can change the course of a conversation, a relationship, a decision, a life. Number 7. Letting someone go ahead of you. This one is so small, it almost feels silly. You're in line. You're waiting. You have your reasons. You have your schedule. Then someone behind you has a fussy child. 1 item instead of 10. A look of panic because they're late. Or maybe they just seem like they're having a rough day. And you say, go ahead. 2 words. 5 seconds. And yet, the emotional weight of those words is much bigger. What you're really saying is, my time is not more important than yours. I see your situation. It's okay. I can wait. In a world where everyone feels in competition for time and space, giving up your place feels almost revolutionary. It sparks gratitude. It builds empathy. And the person who receives that kindness often passes it on. Because now they have a story in their head that begins with, someone did something really nice for me today. That's how kindness multiplies. Number 6. Encouraging someone's dream, even a little. This one is a big deal disguised as a tiny gesture. Everyone has dreams tucked inside them. Some loud, some quiet, some almost forgotten. And dreams are fragile. They can shrink from criticism. They can fade from lack of support. They can disappear from discouragement. So when someone receives even a small dose of encouragement,